In this video, we're going to talk about the equation or the standard form for parabolas. So what I would want you to do is have this information within your notes, especially highlighted. An equation for a parabola that opens horizontally, meaning open left or right, is the square of y minus k equal 4p times x minus h. Similarly, for parabolas that open vertically, meaning up and down, you can divide the equation where it's the square of x minus h equal 4p times y minus k. So make sure you have those two forms, those two equations within your notes. Now these equations, these represent the standard equation for parabolas where p does not equal to 0. The values of the constants h, k, and p determine the characteristics of parabolas such as the coordinates of the vertex and the direction of the parabola. So now we're going to go to the concept section of the standard form of equation for parabolas. All right, so on the left, these are the parabolas that open vertically, up or down. And here's the general equation or the standard form. The vertex is h comma k. Now, bear in mind, even though it says x minus h and y minus k, you'll always use the opposite sign for h and k. So if it's minus h and minus k, it will be a positive h, positive k. Had it been x plus h and y plus k, then it would have been negative h and negative k, which I highly recommend to have that in your notes. Now, given with the graph or given with the equation, in order to find your focus, it's a coordinate point. Same thing with the vertex. Focus is a coordinate point. It will be h comma k plus p. So all you have to do is find the h value, and then once you find your k and p value, you just add them up for your coordinate point. Remember, a coordinate point always has an x and a y. So for vertex and focus, our x value would be the h. Now in the vertex, the k is the y value, and in the focus, k plus p together, that will give you the y value. The axis of symmetry is x equals h. So whatever your h value is, that is your axis of symmetry. Once you get it, it will be a straight line. Now the directrix d is always y equal k minus p. So once you have your general form of equation, in order to find your directrix, it will be y equals k minus p. So the value that you find from subtracting k and p will be for the y. Now, listen carefully as I'm saying just for the y and not y value. Pertaining is the same thing to axis of symmetry. When I'm talking about axis of symmetry, when it says x equals h, it will be a vertical line going through the x coordinate or the x value. Sorry. So it's again a vertical line that going through the x value. The directrix will be k minus p. That will be the value for y. So it will be a horizontal line that goes to the y value. So make sure you have those information in your notes. Axis of symmetry will be a vertical line that goes to the x value. The directrix will be the horizontal line that goes to the y value. Now let's talk about the second parabola that opens horizontally, meaning left or right. And pay very close attention to the form where it's different from the one that opens vertically. Now, the information here, such as the vertex will be the same for when the parabola opens vertically. So the vertex will be the same, h comma k. or the x coordinate will be the h, and the y coordinate will be the k value. The focus will be different. So for the x value, it will be h plus k, and then for the y value will be the k value. So again, the focus for the x coordinate, it will be h plus p, and for the y coordinate, it will be simply the k value. Now the axis of symmetry will be the opposite from the previous function, or the previous axis of symmetry. In the previous axis of symmetry, it was x equals h. Now in the one that opens horizontally, it will be y equals k. For the directrix, it will be x equals h minus p, which, as you can see, is different from the previous directrix. So make sure you remember that it will be the opposite of it, or different from the given previous axis of symmetry and directrix. So to review, for the parabolas that opens horizontally, the vertex is the same as before. The focus is different, where the x-coordinate is h plus p and the y-coordinate is k. Now the axis of symmetry, where it says y equals k, that means it's going to be a horizontal line that will go through the y value. So whatever your k is, that's your y value, and it will be a horizontal line. Your directrix will be the x value. So once you subtract h minus p, that's your x value. That will be your vertical line. So let me repeat. Axis of symmetry for parabolas that open horizontally will be a horizontal line that will go to your y value. So the value that you find for k, that's your y value. Your directrix is a vertical line that goes through the x value. So whatever you find from h minus p, that's your x value. So when you are, say, to graph this with a given function, you must follow these information to help you graph easily. If you don't follow the information, if you don't find the vertex, if you don't find the focus, if you don't find the axis of symmetry or the directrix, it'll be hard to graph, and you would just have to go back to the basics of plugging in points, working it out to get your y values, and then to get coordinate points. So make sure you're familiar with all these information for the standard form of equation for parabolas, because you would have to work backwards given the graph, given components of parabolas, to write out the equation or the standard form for parabolas.